Hi, now we will have a look at how to automatically reboot your modem in Windows 7, and it's very simple. The computer will reboot your modem at specific times. Now you can see here that in a folder I have only three files. I will create a zip file and upload these. Basically there are only three files which are required. One is the Telnet scripting tool. It's a very handy utility created by Albert Yale. The purpose of this utility is to automate the process of giving commands in the Telnet terminal. Second file is the script, which is basically the communication between the modem and your computer, and this script file is used by the Telnet scripting tool TST. And the third file is a batch file, basically which gives a command that Telnet scripting tool should run this particular script. So basically this batch file tells the Telnet scripting tool to run the script. And another thing which is involved is creating a schedule in Windows for running this batch file at a specific time. You can also double click on the batch file to run it. It will reboot the modem, or you can schedule it so that it runs automatically. Yes, it's very simple. Now I have already set up. Let's have a look at this batch file. It just goes to the directory. It's pretty simple actually. It just goes to the directory where the files are stored in C TST folder, and it runs the telnet scripting tool with the correct parameters, that is /r colon, and then it gives the name of the script file, which is try.txt here. So if you are using my file, which if you download and use it, you don't have to modify the batch file at all you need to do is maybe modify this script file for your purpose, and then create a schedule in Windows 7. How you actually write the script, it's very easy. Even if you're not a programmer or something, you don't have to be. Even I'm not a programmer. It was pretty simple to figure out how this thing works. First line is the address of your router. Usually it should be the same. Then you have to see how the communication takes place between the router and your computer. Just see, I'll give you a very simple example and you can compare how the script file has been created. I'm actually going to open the command panel. This is the Windows command line. Now in this command line I will give a command called telnet. It opens the telnet client. Now just see how the communication takes place. I have to open my router first. So I say open the address, press enter. Now this is how the communication starts. The terminal asks for password. So if you see, I have to wait for this thing to appear. So my script says wait for this thing to appear, password colon. You can see it matches. Then what I do is I have to send my password. So basically my password is router123. So what I do here is I type router 123 and I press the enter key. So you can see it says router123 and /m is the enter key. Now my router says beetle greater than. So I have to wait for beetle greater than to appear. So it says wait for this thing to appear. Then what do I do is send the command. You can send any command, but right now here I want to reboot my modem, and for rebooting my modem the command is set reboot and enter. So I say set reboot, and when I press enter it reboots my modem. So you can see here it is send this thing. So that basically resets my modem. So that's the complete script file. Maybe your telnet client would ask for a username, so you can add something like this wait. Maybe it asks like this thing wait for login. Then you have to say okay, send whatever your login is. Let's say your login is Mr. X, so you have to type whatever, send Mr. X. Then it asks for password, or maybe it will ask for whatever thing. You can easily understand how this thing works, or maybe you can try trial and error method, works fine. It's pretty simple. So that's the script. So script file, telnet scripting tool, and the batch file, it goes to that directory, it runs this particular file, and the parameter is very important. If you run it without parameter you will get a window which will open and stay open. So the parameter is /r colon then the script file. It's simple as that. If you are actually naming your file something else instead of try.txt, you simply change the name to that, it will run that file. And next thing, or the final thing that you need to do in Windows is to open task scheduler. You can go to run, and you can go to the start button and type task. It will open the task scheduler. I'll show you. This is Windows task scheduler, and you can find other tutorials on internet about the same, but I'll just show you how this thing actually works. You go to task scheduler, create a basic task. Pretty simple. You give it a name, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah, whatever name. Next thing is you want to run it daily, weekly, or whenever. So I'll just say daily because I want it to run daily. Then you have to specify a time. Now that is very interesting. If you are using the trick for Freedom 800 plan, you give the specific time, reoccur one day, every one day, that means every day. So next, what I want is I want to start a program or a batch file is the same. So click on next, and you just select the batch file, and wow, that's my batch which I want to run. And just click on next, it will show you that this is the detail. Just create finish and your task is done. Now another thing that you can do is modify the properties. If you open this thing, just see, it will open the properties, and you can also choose run whether the user is logged on or not. What I do is I switch it on, and it will ask for your password. You give it your password, and amazingly done. This is what I have been doing. In fact, never rebooted my modem manually, and it works fine.